A week before Christmas, I overheard my family plan to use me as a babysitter for the guests' kids. So I changed my plans. On December 24th, Mom called, "Where are you?" I laughed and advised not to wait for me and the catering. "Well, let's go. My name is Camila, and I'm 27 years old. I work as a data scientist at an insurance company, and honestly, I make pretty good money. Good enough to rent my own apartment and still have some left over for fun stuff. Most people would say I have it made, but let me tell you about the part of my life that drives me absolutely crazy. I live about 30 minutes away from my parents' house. They're good people, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they act like I'm still 15 instead of a grown woman with my own place and career. I visit them pretty regularly because, well, they're family, but these visits aren't exactly relaxing anymore. My sister Maria is 6 years older than me. She's 33 and has 2 kids, Tommy, who's 8, and Sophia, who's 6. Maria married her husband Rick about 10 years ago, and they seem happy enough. But here's the thing that's been eating at me for months now. Every single Saturday, without fail, Maria shows up at my apartment around 9:00 in the morning with both kids in tow. She doesn't call first. She doesn't ask if I have plans. She just appears at my door with this big smile and says something like, "Hey, Cam, the kids are so excited to spend the day with their favorite aunt." And then she's gone just like that. She kisses the kids goodbye and tells me she'll be back around 8 or 9 at night. Meanwhile, Rick and Maria go off to have their couple time, movies, fancy restaurants, shopping, whatever they feel like doing, and I'm stuck with 2 hyperactive kids for 12 hours. I tried talking to Maria about this maybe 3 months ago. I was sitting in my kitchen on a Sunday morning, exhausted from another full day of babysitting, when I decided enough was enough. I called her up and tried to be nice about it. "Hey, Maria, can we talk about the Saturday thing? I love spending time with the kids, but I was hoping maybe we could work out a schedule where I get some weekends to myself." The silence on the other end was deafening. Then she got this hurt tone in her voice. "Camila, I can't believe you're being so selfish. This is what family does for each other. Rick and I work so hard all week, and we barely get any time together. You don't have kids. You don't have a husband. So what else are you doing on Saturdays anyway?" I tried to explain that maybe I wanted to date someone or hang out with friends or just relax after my own hard week at work, but Maria wasn't having it. "You're being ridiculous. Tommy and Sophia adore you, and you're basically their second mom." A few weeks later, I decided to try a different approach. I went to my parents' house for Sunday dinner and brought up the subject with Mom and Dad there. I figured they might see my side of things. "Mom, I wanted to talk to you about something. I love Tommy and Sophia, but I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with watching them every single Saturday. I was wondering if maybe Maria and I could work out some kind of rotation or something." My dad barely looked up from his plate. "Camila, those children are family. You help family." But my mom was the one who really got to me. She set down her fork and gave me this disappointed look. "Honey, I raised you better than this. Maria works hard, and she deserves to have some time with her husband. You're single. You don't have responsibilities like she does. And honestly, taking care of Tommy and Sophia is the best preparation you could ask for. When you get married and have children of your own, you'll be grateful for all this experience." "But Mom, what if I want to date someone? What if I want to go out with friends on Saturday? I feel like I never get a break." Maria jumped in before Mom could answer. "You can date on Friday nights or Sunday nights, and your friends can hang out with you and the kids. It's not that complicated, Camila." Dad nodded along. "Your sister is right. Family comes first, always." I felt so frustrated. I could have screamed. Instead, I just smiled and said I understood, but I didn't understand. I felt like they all saw me as nothing more than free childcare, like my time didn't matter because I wasn't married with kids. I started to resent all of them. My parents for taking Maria's side without even considering how I felt. Maria for taking advantage of me. And honestly, I even started to resent the kids a little, which made me feel terrible. 3 weeks before Christmas, I was at work trying to focus on a data analysis project when my phone rang. It was, "Mom, hi, sweetheart. I'm calling about Christmas. We're going to have a big celebration this year. Your Aunt Linda is coming with her 3 kids, plus Uncle Mike and Aunt Sarah with their 2 children. And of course, Rick's parents and his brother's family will be there too. That's 4 more kids." I did some quick math in my head. That was going to be a lot of people. That sounds nice. "Mom, what do you need me to bring?" Actually, that's what I'm calling about. I don't think I can cook for that many people by myself. I was hoping you could take care of ordering food from a restaurant. You know, get some nice catering so everyone has plenty to eat. I felt my heart sink a little. Catering for that many people wasn't going to be cheap. How many people are we talking about? About 25 total. I know it's a lot to ask, but you're doing so well at your job, and the rest of us are struggling a bit financially right now. I wanted to say no. I wanted to tell her that just because I had a good job didn't mean I should pay for everyone else's Christmas dinner. But it was family and Christmas, and I could hear the stress in her voice. Okay, Mom, I'll handle the catering. Oh, thank you so much, honey. You're such a good daughter. I'll send you a list of everyone's favorite dishes. After I hung up, I sat at my desk feeling frustrated again. $2,000 for Christmas dinner that I wouldn't even help plan or cook. But I pushed the feeling down and told myself it was just one time and it would make everyone happy. I placed the catering order at Romano's restaurant. I had paid the $1,200 deposit and was trying not to think about the final cost. Work was keeping me busy, and honestly, I was looking forward to a big family Christmas for once. Then, exactly 1 week before Christmas, my phone rang while I was at the office finishing up a data analysis report. Ms. Martinez, this is Sarah from Romano's restaurant. I'm calling about your Christmas Eve catering order. Hi, Sarah, what's up? I'm so sorry, but we're having an issue with one of your dishes. The honey-glazed ham, our supplier had some problems and we won't be able to provide it. We'd like to offer roasted turkey as a substitute at the same price. Would that work for you? I felt a little disappointed, but tried to stay positive. Let me check with my family about that. Can I call you back? Of course. Just let us know as soon as you can so we can finalize everything. After I hung up, I immediately tried calling Mom straight to voicemail. Then Dad. Same thing. I tried Maria next, but her phone went right to voicemail too. It was like they all had their phones turned off at the exact moment I needed to reach them. I decided to just drive over to my parents' house after work. Someone had to be home. I pulled into their driveway around 6:15 and used my key to let myself in like I always did. The house was warm and smelled like Mom's usual dinner, probably pot roast or something similar. I was about to call out when I heard Mom's voice coming from the living room. She was on the house phone, talking loudly like she always did when she was excited about something. I heard my name, which made me stop walking. Oh, Linda. Camila will be perfect for watching all the kids. Don't worry about bringing any activities for them. I froze in the hallway. What did she mean, watching all the kids? We're going to set up the back bedroom upstairs with some movies and games, and Camila can just stay up there with all 9 children while we adults enjoy Christmas downstairs. 9 children. My heart started racing. I pressed myself against the wall, not wanting to be seen, but unable to walk away. I know, Mom continued, laughing. It's absolutely perfect, though. Camila doesn't have kids of her own, so she's not already exhausted from dealing with them all week like the rest of us parents, and she's the youngest adult in the family, so she has all that energy. I felt sick to my stomach. They were planning this whole thing without telling me. Trust me, Linda. Bring all your grandchildren. Camila loves babysitting Tommy and Sophia every single weekend. So, what's a few more kids for one day? This way, all the adults can actually relax and enjoy ourselves for once instead of constantly chasing children around. Linda must have said something funny because Mom burst out laughing. Exactly. We'll just stick all 9 kids upstairs with Camila and we can have a real adult Christmas celebration. Good wine, actual conversations, maybe some card games. It's going to be wonderful. I backed toward the front door as quietly as possible, my hands shaking. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This whole Christmas thing was an elaborate setup. They expected me to pay nearly $2,000 for food and then spend the entire holiday babysitting 9 kids while everyone else celebrated downstairs. I heard Mom wrapping up her conversation and saying goodbye. I waited a few seconds, then made noise opening and closing the front door again. Mom, I'm here, I called out, trying to sound normal. Oh, Camila, sweetheart. Mom appeared in the hallway with this huge fake smile. What a lovely surprise. What brings you by tonight? I fought to keep my voice steady. The restaurant called about the Christmas catering. They can't do the honey-glazed ham anymore. They want to substitute roasted turkey instead. Is that okay with everyone? Oh, that sounds perfect. Turkey is delicious for Christmas. Whatever you think is best, honey. I walked back to my car, feeling like I might throw up. I sat in the driveway for several minutes, gripping the steering wheel and trying to process what had just happened. They had planned this entire thing behind my back. Pay for the food, babysit 9 children, miss the actual Christmas party. I would be trapped upstairs like some kind of servant while everyone else enjoyed the celebration I was funding. And the worst part was how they'd manipulated me into it. Nobody had asked if I wanted to babysit 9 kids on Christmas. They just assumed I'd do it because that's what I always did, whatever my family needed, whenever they needed it. By the time I got home, I was shaking with anger. I paced around my apartment, getting more furious by the minute. This wasn't just about Christmas. This was about how my entire family treated me, not as an adult with her own life, but as free childcare who happened to make good money. I thought about every Saturday morning when Maria showed up with Tommy and Sophia. I thought about how my parents always sided with her when I tried to speak up. I thought about how they made me feel guilty for wanting any time to myself. And now this elaborate Christmas trap. I was completely done with all of it. I grabbed my phone and dialed Romano's restaurant. Hi, this is Camila Martinez. I placed the large catering order for Christmas Eve. Yes, Miss Martinez. Did you decide about the turkey substitution? Actually, I need to cancel the entire order. There was a long pause. Cancel the whole thing. But Christmas is only a week away. Yes, please cancel everything. Well, we can process that, but there will be administrative fees deducted from your refund. You'll get back about $1,000. That's fine. Please cancel the order immediately. Okay, we'll take care of it. The refund will appear in 3 to 5 business days. After I hung up, I felt this strange mix of relief and panic. I just canceled Christmas dinner for 25 people, and they had absolutely no idea. I sat on my couch, staring at my phone, trying to remember something important. Then it hit me. About 3 months ago, my college friend Jessica had called me with an invitation. Jessica and I were roommates freshman year and stayed close even though she moved to Colorado after graduation. She worked for some tech company out there and was always posting pictures of mountain hikes and ski trips on social media. Cam, you have to come spend Christmas with us this year, she had said during that phone call back in September. My family has this amazing cabin up in the mountains. We always do this big Christmas celebration with skiing, hot chocolate, the whole thing. I had turned her down without even thinking about it. That sounds amazing, Jess. But I always spend Christmas with my family. Now, sitting in my apartment after discovering my family's plan to use me as unpaid childcare, that conversation seemed like a sign from the universe. I scrolled through my contacts and found Jessica's number. My hands were still shaking a little from anger, but I felt more determined than I had in months. Camila, oh my God, it's so good to hear from you. Jessica's voice was as bubbly as ever. Hey, Jess, I know this is super last minute, but remember when you invited me for Christmas at your family's cabin? Is that offer still open? Are you serious? That would be amazing. Yes, absolutely. Come. We're driving up to the cabin on December 23rd. Can you get here by then? I can drive out on the 23rd after work. Perfect. I'm texting you everything now. I can't wait. After we hung up, I felt this huge weight lift off my shoulders. December 23rd finally arrived. I left work early, threw my packed bags in my car, and started the drive to Colorado. I got to Jessica's parents' house around 8 that evening. Her parents, Mike and Carol, were incredibly welcoming. They treated me like family from the moment I walked in. We spent the evening playing board games and laughing. The next morning, we all drove up to their cabin. It was like something out of a Christmas movie. This cozy log cabin surrounded by snow-covered pine trees. We spent Christmas Eve skiing during the day and then came back to the cabin for hot chocolate and dinner. Around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my phone started buzzing. I looked at Jessica, who was sitting next to me on the couch. I guess it's time to face the music, I said. I answered the phone. Hello, Mom. Camila, where are you? Her voice was sharp and angry. Everyone is here waiting for you, and the food was supposed to arrive an hour ago. I took a deep breath. I'm not coming to Christmas, Mom. What do you mean you're not coming? Don't be ridiculous. Get over here right now. I heard your phone conversation with Aunt Linda last week. I know all about your plan to stick me upstairs with 9 kids while everyone else enjoys Christmas. There was dead silence on the other end. Then Mom's voice got defensive. I don't know what you think you heard, but you're being dramatic. I heard exactly what I heard, Mom. You were laughing about how you could dump all the kids on me because I don't have children of my own. You never planned to include me in Christmas. You just wanted free babysitting. If you don't get over here right now, we're going to come to your apartment and bring all the children there. Now, I did laugh. Good luck with that, Mom. I'm not at my apartment. I'm on vacation. I could hear voices in the background. Maria and other relatives asking what was going on. Then Maria grabbed the phone from Mom. Camila, what the hell is wrong with you? We all plan to relax while you watch the kids. You're being completely selfish. I'm tired of being your free babysitter, Maria, and I'm especially tired of people plotting against me behind my back. Don't wait for the food delivery either because I canceled that yesterday. Now you can celebrate Christmas without my money. I hung up and immediately turned my phone off. Jessica was staring at me with wide eyes. Wow, that sounded intense. Are you okay? I looked around at the cozy cabin, at Jessica's family, who had welcomed me so warmly, at the beautiful mountains outside the windows. You know what? I'm better than okay. I'm free. I kept my phone off for the rest of Christmas Eve and all of Christmas Day. For the first time in years, I had the most amazing Christmas of my life. Nobody forced me to babysit anyone's kids. Nobody expected me to set the table or clear dishes. Nobody treated me like hired help. Everyone was just having fun together, and I was included in everything as an equal. We skied, we played games, we watched movies, we cooked together. Jessica's friends were hilarious, and her parents told the best stories. I felt like I was part of a real family celebration instead of being the designated servant. On the morning of December 25th, I finally turned my phone back on. I had 43 missed calls, 15 from Mom, 12 from Dad, 8 from Maria, 5 from Maria's husband, Rick, and 3 from various other relatives. But that wasn't even the worst part. I had 27 unread text messages. The first few were from Mom. Call me back immediately. Where are you? This is unacceptable. Then they got nastier. You are cruel and selfish. You've ruined Christmas for everyone. Because of you, the whole Christmas went down the drain because we had no food. Maria's messages were even worse. I can't believe you did this to us. We were forced to run to the grocery store at the last minute. We had to buy whatever leftovers we could find at some terrible cafe. Rick had sent me messages too. Your sister is crying because of what you did. The kids are asking why there's no Christmas dinner. One message from Dad really got to me. We spent Christmas in a terrible mood because we didn't have a properly set table. All the kids gave us a real nightmare. They were running around making noise and spoiling our holiday. This is all your fault. I read through all of them, and instead of feeling guilty, I started laughing. I was sitting in this beautiful cabin surrounded by people who actually enjoyed my company, reading about how my family's manipulative Christmas plan had completely fallen apart. They'd spent Christmas chasing around 9 screaming kids with no food and no plan. The very thing they'd wanted to dump on me had become their own nightmare. I stayed at the cabin with Jessica and her family for 3 more days after Christmas. On December 28th, I finally drove back to my apartment. I felt refreshed and calm in a way I hadn't experienced in years. For the first time, I'd spent a holiday doing exactly what I wanted to do with people who genuinely enjoyed my company. My phone had been buzzing occasionally during the drive home, but I ignored it. I figured my family was still trying to guilt me into apologizing, but I wasn't ready for that conversation yet. The next morning, December 29th, I was making coffee when someone knocked on my apartment door. It was aggressive knocking, not the polite kind. I looked through the peephole and saw exactly what I expected. Mom, Dad, and Maria standing in the hallway. They all looked furious. I took a deep breath and opened the door. Hi. Don't you hi us. Mom pushed past me into the apartment. Dad and Maria followed her. We need to talk, Dad said in that stern voice he used when I was a teenager and had broken curfew. Okay, I said, closing the door. Let's talk. Mom rolled around to face me. How could you do this to us, Camila? We had 25 people show up expecting a beautiful Christmas dinner, and we had nothing. Nothing. The guests were asking where the food was, Dad added. We had to tell them there was some kind of mix-up with the catering company. We looked like idiots. Maria stepped closer to me. Rick's family thinks we're completely disorganized now. His mother kept asking why we didn't have backup plans. I was mortified. And the children, Mom threw her hands up. All 9 of those children were running around screaming, making messes. It was chaos, complete chaos. I almost smiled. Gee, that sounds terrible. Having to actually watch a bunch of kids during a family gathering. I can't imagine how exhausting that must have been. Don't be smart with us, young lady, Dad snapped. You know exactly what you did. Yeah, I do know what I did. I chose not to be your unpaid babysitter and personal caterer for Christmas. You're our daughter. Mom's eyes were filling with tears now. You're supposed to help family. Help family? Sure, but what you wanted wasn't help. You wanted me to pay for everyone's dinner and then spend the entire holiday watching 9 kids while you all party downstairs. That's not family. That's being used." Maria's face was red with anger. "You are so selfish. We work hard all week. We deserve to relax on holidays." "And I don't work hard? I don't deserve to relax?" "You don't have children," she screamed. "You don't understand how hard it is." "You're right. I don't have children, which means Christmas isn't about me taking care of other people's kids. It's supposed to be about family spending time together." Mom was crying now. "Because of you, we'll never be able to show our faces to those relatives again. Everyone thinks we're terrible hosts. Aunt Linda said she's never coming here for Christmas again." "Uncle Mike's family left early," Dad added. "They said it was too chaotic and they couldn't enjoy themselves." "Rick's brother asked me if our family always has such disasters," Maria said. I didn't know what to say. I looked at all 3 of them, my parents and my sister, standing in my living room, blaming me for their own poor planning and manipulation. "You know what? I don't care," I said finally. "I don't care that your Christmas was ruined. I don't care that the guests left early. I don't care that you were embarrassed." "How can you say that?" Mom whispered. "Because you've been using me for years and I'm done with it. Every single Saturday, Maria dumps her kids on me without asking. Every holiday, you expect me to pay for things or cook or clean or babysit. You never once asked what I wanted or how I felt about any of it." "We're your family," Dad said. "Family doesn't manipulate each other. Family doesn't plot behind each other's backs to trick someone into free childcare." Mom straightened up and wiped her eyes. Her voice got cold. "Fine. If that's how you feel, then we're done. We won't invite you to any more family gatherings. We won't include you in holiday plans. You can just be alone." "Good," I said without hesitation. All 3 of them stared at me like I'd grown a second head. "You don't mean that," Maria said. "I absolutely mean it. I'm tired of being treated like the family servant. I have my own life, and I'm going to start living it." "You'll regret this," Mom said. "When you're older and alone, you'll regret pushing your family away." "The only thing I regret is not standing up for myself sooner." Dad pointed at the door. "Let's go. She's made her choice." They walked towards the door, and Mom turned back one last time. "Don't come crying to us when you realize what you've lost." "I won't," I said, and I meant it. After they left, I sat on my couch in complete silence for about 10 minutes. Then I picked up my phone and blocked all their numbers. Over the next few days, I got calls from other relatives trying to shame me. Aunt Linda called to tell me I was ungrateful. Uncle Mike said I was breaking Mom's heart. Cousin Rachel said I should apologize. I hung up on every single one of them. It's been 2 months now since that Christmas. I haven't spoken to my parents or Maria since they came to my apartment that day. I know from relatives who still call that Mom and Dad want to work things out with me, but they don't know how to approach it. When relatives ask me about reconciling, I always give them the same answer. I'll consider talking to my family again when they're ready to admit they used me as free childcare for years and never treated me like an equal member of the family. So far, none of them are ready for that conversation. But you know what? I'm happier than I've been in years. My weekends are completely my own now. I can sleep in on Saturdays, go out with friends, or just relax at home. I'm dating someone new, and it's nice to have time for a relationship without constantly being on call for babysitting duty. I don't feel guilty about any of it. I finally learned that family shouldn't mean sacrificing your own happiness and free time for other people's convenience.